Hey, good morning to you. This is Walk and Talk 109. Have you noticed how little things can hurt us? How little things can mess us up? How little things can destroy? We're talking about small words inspire. Small words can be hurtful. We're enjoying a walk. It's May 12th at 62 degrees. I'm in James chapter 3. I'm going to look at 3 verses in the Bible. James chapter 3, verses 3, 4, and 5. And just talk out loud about how little things, tiny words, can be inspirational. Yesterday I was talking to a young couple, and I used the word hope, and I used the word honesty. And it was obvious this young couple felt hopeless, and there was a lot of lying and deception. And when I encouraged honesty and hope, both individuals became very positive, optimistic. I encouraged both individuals to be transparent, to trust honesty. I gave them a few small words: grace and mercy, forgiveness. And I watched a young couple who could not talk to each other, who became very cold and distant, all of a sudden be open and be willing to talk about the pluses and minuses in their relationship with this young man, and that she cared for this young man. As a matter of fact, she used the word love. And the young man said that he loved her, but the two of them could not communicate. What I'm trying to say is words can inspire, even small words. Words can build up. Words can create hope. Words can take a person from being pessimistic to optimistic. So the Bible puts it like this: if we put the bits into the horse's mouth so that they will obey us, we direct their whole body as well. That's James chapter 3, verse 3. So in other words, a bit in the mouth of a horse controls the whole horse. And then verse 4 of James chapter 3 says, look at the ships. They're large, they're driven by strong winds, but they're directed by a small rudder, determined by the pilot. And then James chapter 3 verse 5 says, so also the tongue is a small part of the body, and yet that tongue can accomplish in a positive way or can tear down in a negative way. So the tongue is symbolic for words that come out of your mouth. We have to back up and understand that words communicate something. Your mouth, your tongue, was created by God to give you the capacity to express what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Just like a rudder can control a boat, or a bit can control a horse, your words, if you manage them properly, can inspire. Your words can be a breath of fresh air. Let me give you a few suggestions on how to take small words and inspire people. First off, remind yourself of the power in a word. Every word that comes out of your mouth, see every word as influential. Take a word like love. There are people who are starving for respect. They want to be loved, not in the physical way, not in the sexual way, but they want to be respected. So when you say you love someone, think of the word love as meaning I respect you, I value you. The power in love is saying to someone else, I value you, you're valuable, you're special. We live our lives often careless. We do not guard the words that come out of our mouth because we think words don't matter, but words have power. Just as a bit in a horse's mouth has the power to control that horse, your words are powerful. So back up every day and understand the power in the words. Number 2, when a word is released, you can't take it back. When you have a bit in a horse's mouth and you pull on that bit to stop the horse, or to move the horse to the left or move the horse to the right, but when you pull on that bit, that metal bar inflicts some pain on the mouth of that horse. Your words, when you release them, your words immediately create an impact. Words, once you release them, once they're gone from your mouth, once you say whatever it is you're going to say, you can't take it back. The pain or the inspiration has been released. I'm simply suggesting that, number 3, manage or control your tongue immediately. It's easy for us to regret. It's easy for us to say something and wish we could take it back. But your words are powerful and can be immediately released. But I'm saying manage them, control them. In order for you to control your words, that takes evaluation. You're going to have to, every word, evaluate, manage them, control them. You may have to modify. So when you release a word, don't release a word that will create destruction. Destruction is painful. If you take a bit of a horse and you jerk that bit really hard, you're going to get a negative reaction. You're going to get perhaps a hostile reaction from that horse. When you release a word, understand how powerful your words are. You may not recognize the power of a word. Take, for example, the word hate. The words, I hate you. Those words immediately send a powerful negative. It's a rejection. When I was chatting with this one couple, boyfriend, girlfriend, and they expressed to each other that they really cared, they really loved. When they used words that build up, when they use words that inspire, like, I love you, even though they struggled with knowing what love is and what love is not, and what's quality love and what is toxic love, they still enjoyed hearing the word love. Words released are powerful. They're influential. Let me give you another suggestion. Small words, tiny words, need to be filtered. So you have to control, you have to evaluate, you have to make a judgment call on the appropriateness of the words that come from your mouth. If you want to inspire with your small words, if you want to inspire people and encourage people and motivate and give hope and be a breath of fresh air, you have to evaluate, filter. Don't let the word come out of your mouth without an internal examination of that word. Is that word appropriate? So evaluate. Don't just blurt it out. The Bible uses the little phrase, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. We know how to be destructive. But the key to inspiring people and encouraging people is filter, or be introspective, or cross-examine the words before you release them. Let me give you another suggestion. Appropriate. The word that you're thinking about saying, the words that you're formulating in your mind, are these words appropriate? And the word appropriate needs to be gauged or evaluated by things like timing. Is this the right time to share these words? Maybe I should be listening. Maybe I should be holding my tongue. Maybe I don't have enough facts yet. So is it appropriate? Is this the right time for me to share A, B, C, or D? Timing in communication is huge. The timing of releasing a word can be powerful or hurtful. Let me give you another evaluation tool. Use words that Jesus used. In other words, study the words of Jesus. Study the timing of Jesus. Study the filters of Jesus. Study the definitions of Jesus. Study the way that Jesus communicated. The best communicator in the world is Jesus Christ. He's God. If you want to understand how to inspire people with your words, go to the Creator, go to God, and watch how Jesus communicates with people. I'll give you a little suggestion. First and foremost, you're going to find that Jesus uses his words with much patience. He's very patient. He is slow to speak. He's not quick. Not only is Jesus patient with people, but he's gracious. His words are gracious. His words are not only gracious, but his communication, his message, his talk involves much mercy. People deserve to be condemned, and in many instances, people deserve to be rejected because of the abuse, because of the lies, because of the damage they do. But Jesus smothers his words with mercy. Rather than give me what I deserve, he then ushers in this idea of forgiveness. When Jesus communicates, he is always filtering his words with patience, with grace, with mercy. There's another word that Jesus uses a lot, and that's the idea of truth. Jesus doesn't, in no instance, Jesus never advances a lie. Jesus never participates in a false narrative. Jesus is always teaching truth. When you let a word come out of your mouth, take your words and make sure they're truthful as judged by Jesus. If Jesus would not use that word, don't use that word. If Jesus would advocate for patience, be patient. If Jesus uses mercy and forgiveness, before you say your words, make sure that you're practicing mercy and forgiveness. Jesus lives only in truth. He is truth. The examination of your words, you must avoid self-deception. I'm working with another young man who says, just very transparent, very honest, that he struggles with self-deception. He is driven to be right. And he's willing to simply say, I have an attitude of superiority, rather than partnering with people. He's always antagonistic. If someone else says something, he's going to outdo that individual. As I'm chatting with this one young man, he is constantly referring to his intelligence. He is always pointing out how superior, how smart, how intellectual, how gifted he is. At some point, Jesus confronts the idea of self-centeredness or narcissism. Make sure that as you communicate with people, it's better to be on your knees talking to people. It's better to be humble when you talk with people. It's better to be gentle than to be at the top of the ladder, than to be a bully, than to be arrogant, than looking down on people. If we put a bit into a horse's mouth, that bit has the power to control the entire body of that horse. If you use your tongue in a negative way, you can destroy people. It's your tongue, your words can be powerful. On the positive side, if you use small words, just like that small bit in the mouth of a horse, your words can inspire people. But for you or for me to communicate, we need to constantly be reminding ourselves, how did Jesus do it? What was the way, the manner of Jesus' speech? Your tongue, your words can bring hope. They can bring healing. In both of the cases of the young couple and the single young man, both in the course of conversation just simply cried out for help. They are not using their words to inspire people. They're using their words to manipulate, to control. And in both illustrations, the young couple and the young man, both have received in their past wrong against them. Both have been disappointed. Both have been angry over what had happened to them. And when I asked them about some of the past trauma, they began to share that they did not trust anyone. They didn't even trust God. I'm gently saying to you, if you want to inspire with your little words, trust God, trust Jesus. Find out how Jesus communicated. You're not going to get a better role model. You're not going to find someone who will forgive you like Jesus did. Jesus had one purpose in life, and that was to reconcile, to redeem, to forgive you, to forgive me for the wrongs, for the sin that we do against each other. We are broken. I'm broken. You're broken. You can take your words and you can inspire. You can build people up. You can point people in a healthy direction. You can point people to forgiveness, to hope, to encouragement, to forgiveness, to patience, to speaking words of truth. Good morning. You can go from discouragement and depression. You can, through the power of words that Jesus used, you can turn not only your life around, but you can turn the conversation around. You can bring a positive into people's life. Money can't buy an inspiring word. Words can come out of anybody's mouth and produce much damage. When you consider James chapter 3, verses 3 to 5, the tongue is a small part of your body, and yet you can do great things with that tongue. That tongue, symbolic for words and communication. You can use your words, you can use your communication to make someone smile, to say I care, to say I forgive, to say I'm sorry. Small words inspire people. You don't have to be a PhD. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be in a position of influence. You don't have to have some recognized status. You can use small words like forgiveness and I'm listening. How can I help? What can I do to offer a helping hand? I forgive you. Will you forgive me? You can use words of, can we cooperate? We may not agree on everything, but can we talk without bullying, no shaming? Can we talk as individuals who want to lift people up, not put people down? This is Walk and Talk 109. Small words inspire, and don't forget, small words can produce harm. Small words can be toxic, can be poisonous. Make sure that you are controlling your words, small or big, and make sure that you're constantly evaluating them through the eyes, through the speech, through the values, through the beliefs of Jesus. Study Jesus, watch how he communicates, and you will be a positive inspiration to others. This is May 12th. It's some 62, 3 or 4 degrees right now. It's just a beautiful day. We invite you to one of our worship services this coming Sunday, 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11. Also at 6 p.m., we have many great classes for children, for teenagers, for adults. You can bring hope to people with the words of Jesus. Remember, it's Jesus that said the truth will set you free. Jesus can move any one of us from self-deception and bondage to forgiveness and reconciliation and redemption, and offering a hand of hope rather than shame and bullying. Have a great one. Blessings on you.